Welcome to what may be one of the most impactful and potentially life-changing events that you've ever seen. Life-changing demonstrations, that is. You know, that might be a little bit dramatic, but the reality is that's exactly what it was for me and my family some 5.5 years ago. Hello, my name is Shan Stratton, and I am the host of Shan Stratton Live. It's a program that we launched that gives us an opportunity to really teach and preach and share information about how to live a more alkaline or alkalizing lifestyle. See, I've been in this industry for almost 25 years and I've seen a lot of things come and go. But one of the things that I absolutely know for sure, it's a natural principle or law of nature, and that is that there's a very important balance of what we refer to as pH within the body. There's a very important balance of energy within the body. The cool thing is, we now know that there are ways that we can more efficiently, more effectively, and easily, quite honestly, change or balance that pH. pH has become something that is so important and so discussed in mainstream that we actually launched this webinar done every Tuesday night so that we can share this message with others. Now, we're going to talk tonight about a technology. It's actually a Japanese-based technology that was introduced to the U.S. some 10, 11, 12 years ago. I'm not sure exactly how long ago, but it's a technology that has really made a difference in my life and the life of my family. It's a technology that takes and creates what we all affectionately call Kangen water, but it's also referred to as electrolyzed water. And we're going to talk all about that. But folks, being in this industry for 25 years, I've been so fortunate and I'm truly humbled at the opportunities I've had to work with some of the greatest athletes and athletic organizations that the world has ever known. I've been fortunate enough to work and have associations with great teams in Major League Baseball. In fact, most of the teams in Major League Baseball I continue to work with on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. I've worked with many of the teams in the NBA and the NFL. I've worked with a lot of Olympic organizations, both here and abroad. Now, folks, I don't say that to say, look what I've done, because quite honestly, I am nothing more than the messenger. Folks, the messenger doesn't make the message true. What makes the message true is long-standing effects, true benefits, results. And I will tell you that the message that I share with you here tonight is the same message that I have shared not only with professional and collegiate and high school athletes, not with those elite athletes, but also, and probably more importantly, general population, moms and pops, young children that are trying to find that direction in their life and trying to find ways to be healthy. Male, female, young, old, it doesn't matter. Folks, the human body, the functionality of the human body is pretty much basic all across the board. And what I do know is that if we have a message that's changing and increasing performance of elite individuals that get paid to keep their body healthy, then I think it's a message that will impact your life the same way that it has impacted my life, and more importantly, the life of my wife and my 3 children. So let's get started and talk first about the technology in regards to energy. Okay, if I told you that we have a way to boost the body's electrical energy, some of you may be saying, well, what are you talking about, boosting the electrical energy? In fact, I often hear people say, well, you guys' technology is not really mimicking nature because you have an extension cord that you plug into the wall, and as you know, in nature, we don't plug an extension cord into the wall for electricity. I absolutely disagree. I believe that God's extension cord, if you will, to the earth is lightning. When you look at lightning striking all around the world, that's a natural process. I believe that all these things were created in a way that keeps the earth in balance, and one of those things is lightning. Now, as lightning is attracted to water, okay, it strikes water, it strikes land, but it creates this energy that is vitally important for life. Now, many of you may be saying, yeah, well, lightning isn't all that common. Folks, I live in Arizona where we might get 2 storms a year. So I thought lightning is something that we see every now and then and think, wow, that was unique. We got to see some lightning. When in reality, as I started doing more and more study on lightning itself, folks, there are 8 million lightning strikes every single day. That breaks down to over 100 strikes per second, literally cloud to earth. Over 100 per second. So whether that lightning is striking and hitting our oceans, or that lightning is striking and hitting our lakes, whether that lightning is hitting a nice beautiful stream up in the mountains, or we also take it a step further and look at the powerful rolling of water down the streams. If any of you have ever hiked through the mountains, you know that as you see waterfalls and things like that, you smell and can actually feel that positive energy. Sometimes the hair stands up a little bit because of that energy. Energy is vital, and we can measure the body's energy by what is called millivolts, also referred to as ORP. ORP stands for the oxidation reduction potential. I like to turn that around and say the potential to reduce that oxidative process. Okay? But the key word here is potential. We can provide the greatest potential to reduce those negative effects of illnesses, sicknesses, diseases, and so on and so forth. And how that is done is by the measurement, as I said, of the ORP. Now, I actually have a tool here that we're going to use, and I'm actually going to show you the ORP measurements of many of these liquids that we consume. But before I do that, I want to give a couple of little analogies. Okay? When we look at the measuring of the ORP, we're looking for a negative number. In fact, every cell of the body in a perfectly healthy body should be around a negative 70 to 90 millivolts. Now, I'll tell you, Michael Kinnett does a fantastic job about talking about the body's millivolt and the measure of ORP, and so does Dr. Michael Donaldson and others. But these are two great individuals that I respect, and they know and have studied the measure of millivolts. And as those millivolts are measured at negative 70 in a healthy cell, we know they start to reduce over a period of years. In fact, a baby is born and it's about a minus 90 millivolt. And then as that baby gets older and into the age, it starts dropping minus 50, minus 40, minus 30. Once it gets below about a minus 30, even starting into the positives, that's when we start seeing disease set in. Because our ability to reduce that oxidation, our ability to energize and overcome those illnesses, sickness, and diseases are weakened. So we want to, if we can, provide a technology that provides you with the greatest potential to reduce that oxidative stress, and we do that by boosting the electricity, if you will, within the body. And that's exactly what we do with the technology. So as we look at some of these, bottled water, we're going to test them here, but bottled water, tap water, and sports drinks, and sodas, as you can see, they're measured in the positive 200 or 300, and again, I'll show you right here in a minute. We want to look at things that are negative. As I said, the healthy cell, minus 70, minus 90. We want to look at things like vitamin C from an orange, which is about minus 60. We see things like wheatgrass. Wheatgrass is a great antioxidant. It's full of great energy, electricity, if you will. It's about a minus 145. Green tea, another great antioxidant. Cod liver oil, for some of you older people that grandma maybe in the olden days had you drink cod liver oil because you knew it was a great antioxidant. Well, I'm going to show you where we actually have the ability to provide you with a daily consumption of a liquid that measures around minus 500. Folks, we want to energize those cells. But the key word here is potential. Here's the analogy. Let's say that my company is giving away $1 million. Seems like companies all over the world are giving away money that always seems to be $1 million. But let's say we're giving away $1 million. And we have 100 tickets, and one of those tickets is the winner of the $1 million. Now, if I gave you 80 of those 100 tickets, you would have the greatest potential of winning that lottery, more so than anybody else. Now, that doesn't mean just because you have the 80 that you're going to win it for sure. It means that you've had the greatest potential of winning it. But let's say over a period of time that I start taking some of them back when you do certain things. Okay, let's say you do a bad thing here and I take 5 tickets back and something else and we take 10 tickets back. Your potential of winning that $1 million continues to get worse and worse and worse. Now you do good things and we give some of those tickets back. We reward, and your ability or potential to win now continues to get higher. Why am I saying 80? Folks, it's around 70 or 80% of our body is made up of water. If 70, 75, 80% of your body is made up of waters like bottled water, tap water, sports drink, sodas, beers, things like that, your potential of winning this game, your potential of winning the health lottery is reduced dramatically. Because each time you drink some of these things, some of those tickets are taken away. Same thing on the opposite side though, as we start climbing this scale and providing good antioxidants, providing good millivoltage, good energy, we start climbing back up that chart, providing the body with the energy or ability to reduce that oxidative process. Now we start giving more tickets and more tickets and more tickets. So your potential to win this game of health has increased. I hope that analogy makes sense, but let me actually show you some of these liquids, some of the common drinks. Let's take Smart Water. Put Smart Water very first right here because I want to get it out of the way very first and foremost, because so often people are thinking, oh my gosh, Smart Water's got to be healthy for us. I'm going to take Dasani, the Coca-Cola product, and we're going to take this Norwegian drink, which is supposed to be so healthy, Voss Water. Let's take a sports drink. If you've tried sports drinks, many of the kids drink sports drinks, and it's always marketed as something so healthy and good for us. I'm going to take a soda. So often people are drinking soda. Maybe not a lot, but sometimes we see people that say, man, I only have 1 soda a day, or 1 soda a week, or 1 soda a month. We're going to test how much energy that offers or takes away, and then we're also going to take some of our electrolyzed high ORP water that we got straight from our technology. So hopefully you're able to see this. Let's take it the first one, and when we put it in the Smart Water, as you can see, it is a 379, 380. Okay, and it's probably even climbing, or it's right in that range. Hopefully you can see it a little bit in here. Let's go to Dasani. Dasani, 350. It's a positive 350, which means it is taking energy from the body. It is reducing our health. It is degenerating. Let's go to the great Norwegian drink, 340. Sports drinks. Sports drinks, we're up there, 370 and climbing. Continuing to go up. Soda, same thing. We're in the high 300s. Now, usually that'll get up there, and if I leave it here long enough, as you can see, it's climbing. We're going to get up there in the 350, 400 range. Now, let's go to what I've been talking about. How do we provide the body the greatest potential to reduce that oxidative process? How do we provide the body with the greatest boost in the positive electricity or energy that we need? Hopefully you can see the minus, the negative in front of the number here. We are measuring at a minus 360. Folks, we went from, let's just come back down here to Dasani. We went from, it's going to get back in the positive side. You can see it going back to positive. The great thing about a live demo like this is I can ask my staff if they're able to see it. You able to see it okay? Good. We're able to see the numbers. Okay, and a climbing, and that's going to climb back up there to a positive 300 or so. We go back to instantly a negative 360. Folks, do a little study on your own. Take a look at how boosting the body's ORP, boosting the body's potential to reduce oxidation, does in fact translate to increased immunity. Folks, if you have somebody that is consistently sick, someone that consistently has sore throat, someone that consistently has degeneration, whether it be in the joints or whatever the case might be, someone that is rusting all of the time, okay? Now, why do I say rusting? Often we hear people say, well, that oxidative process, when we think about oxidation, first thing that comes to mind is rusting. Well, I don't know about you, but something hit me a couple of days ago. When I started looking at rusting, I started doing some research on that. Folks, I've spent a lot of time doing research and getting ready to provide what, again, I want this to be impactful. As I was looking and studying rusting, I found there are a couple of things that are required for rusting to take place. Iron and steel are the only two minerals that rust. All the rest of the minerals can corrode, but it can't rust. Iron is about the only one that rusts. Now, steel is a portion of iron, so iron rusts. And what is required for the rusting process is, again, I started doing the research and looking at that. There are two things required for that rusting process: moisture or water, temperature, and oxygen. Here's the important part. And I don't have any data to back this up. I just want to throw it out there for you to think about as I have. What is one of the most common minerals that we are seeing being put into all of the foods that we are consuming? Iron fortified, iron supported. Make sure you get your iron. Get more iron here. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that iron isn't important. Folks, iron is vitally important. Iron is in most all of our organs within the body. Iron is required for the creation of red blood cells. Iron is something that absolutely must be there. But if we have that iron throughout our body and we are providing an acidic situation with low energy and the hydration or water that is required, I believe that is a process that causes a degeneration within our body. We have to get those abilities, the potential to reduce that oxidative process out of the body. And I just showed you with a meter how every one of these drinks that most people consume, whether it be Smart Water or whether Dasani is your poison or water of choice, or whether it's Voss or Propel, whatever it is, you do not get a negative ORP like you do from our technology, our electrolyzed Kangen water. That is just one aspect we know that we can increase your body's potential to reduce the oxidation going on. Next thing, let's go on to the next one. Let's talk a little bit about pH, because that is really the buzz out there. I don't personally think that it is any more important than the ORP that I just showed you, but pH seems to be something that everybody is talking about. Balance your pH, eat an alkaline diet, and quite honestly, that's all I had to build from up until the 5.5 years ago when I was introduced to this great technology. All I had to work with my professional athletes and my clientele was by changing their diet to a more alkaline diet. Now, if any of you have ever tried eating an alkaline diet, you know that it's next to impossible. It's difficult and it certainly isn't fun. But 5.5 years ago when I got to see this demonstration, I found that we can dramatically improve the balance of acidity and alkalinity, measured as pH, with the technology that I'm sharing with you here tonight. So I want to do the same thing here with this pH chart. Anything 7, the pH chart goes from 0 to 14. 0 to 7 on this side is acidic. And if any of your liquids measure acidic, then it will create an acidic situation. Anything 7 and above is more alkaline. Alkaline ties to health. Acidity ties to sickness. Now that doesn't mean that nothing is supposed to be acidic in the body. I don't say that. I wouldn't say that, because there are certain processes in the body that require acidity. But in general, our tissues function most efficiently and effectively. Our tissues recover from injury most efficiently and most effectively. Our functionality of our body improves more efficiently and effectively in an alkaline environment. That much has been proven. So let's take a look. We're going to take a pH, some pH drops. I'm actually just going to put about 3 drops in each one of these liquids. And as I do so, you're able to start seeing the differentiation in color. Let's start with Smart Water. As you can see, folks, this certainly is not purple, nor blue, nor green. It's a lighter green, so it is acidic. Not only was smart water acidic, but it was also measured as a positive on the ORP. It increases that rusting process. It degenerates the body on a daily basis. Now, that doesn't mean that it can't be a good hydrant. I'm simply saying that from a health perspective, if we are filling our body with these types of liquids, and if 80% of our body is made up from these types of liquids, we have a greater risk of being acidic. Earlier, I used the analogy of the 80 tickets. And within that 80, if you had 80 of them, you had a higher potential of winning. Again, the reason I do that is because 80% of our body is made up of water. Roughly 80%. The rest, 20%, is made up from our bones and our organs and our tissue and our ligaments and our tendons and our hair and so on. But 80% of your body, if you have that 80% filled with your choice of, say, Dasani, folks, you can see how acidic Dasani water is. I did not know that until 5.5 years ago. I figured, get away from tap water, drink filtered or reverse osmosis or whatever it is, and we're going to be healthy. I'm telling you that 2 measures just showed us that these things are not how God intended our bodies to function. We just showed you that the millivoltage is on the positive side, which means it's degenerating, and I just showed you that it is acidic. Voss water, okay? The Norwegian water, again, all the way down here, acidic. Propel, or any other sports drink. Folks, now we're getting way down the chart. Way down there. These sports drinks and sodas, hopefully you're able to see the color pretty well. They are all the way down there in the pH that is so acidic that I know it affects the rest of the body, and I'm going to show you here in just 1 second. Now, here is the beauty. All the way up here, in fact, it's a perfect blue, right close to orange. This is right out of our technology, right out of our machine that takes water, goes through an ionization process, an electrolyzing process, 7 plates of titanium. We run electricity through there and mimic the laws of nature as it was intended to do so. These are the types of things that I believe we can do and use to improve our quality of life most effectively, most efficiently, and quite honestly, the most simple way possible. In fact, we have a saying, change your water, change your life. And you're going to see a lot of that. Let me show you one other. Let's take a little bit of this water and let's put it down here in smart water. Doesn't even take very much, and look how purple. Let's go into our Dasani. Doesn't even take very much. A few drops in there. Voss, the Norwegian water. Doesn't even take very much. Now, let's get to some of these sports drinks. Folks, sports is my background. I have worked with professional elite athletes for 25 years. I have sat side by side with some of the greats, Reggie Jackson and Coach Joe Torre. I've sat next to and worked with some of the Yogi Berra and many others. I did not know that much of what we were teaching, like sports drinks, may be damaging portions of the body. Now, I'm not saying that you should never, ever, ever drink this. I'm not going to say that. I don't drink it anymore. But I'm not going to say don't ever drink this stuff. That's your choice after seeing how acidic that might be. Carbonated drinks, whether it's Sprite or Pepsi or Coke or Diet, doesn't matter. Any of these carbonated drinks and sports drinks and many other drinks, it takes approximately 27 to 1 to alkalize that water. Or, I'm sorry, to alkalize those sports drinks. Let's get a little bit more water in here. Extremely, extremely purple. Now, let me show you, to those of you that are sitting there saying, yeah, I like that, but I only drink 1 a day. Okay, let's take it even further. Let's say to you that said that, don't even drink 1. Just take 1 capful. 1 tiny capful in straight 9.5 pH water, and as you can see, we have made it acidic with 1 capful. Folks, I'm telling you, I was so moved when I saw this demonstration that 5.5 years ago I incorporated into my business. And I can tell you that we have made leaps and bounds of progress in balancing the pH of the athletic body, of the non-athletic body, of the male, of the female, of the young, of the old. It doesn't matter. The functioning of the body is the same. The body was intended to be slightly alkaline. I'm telling you, as much as I'm standing here, I know that if we are filling our body with things like these drinks, tiny little sips here and there, or filling it full of things that from marketing perspective make us think, oh, that must be healthy, it's smart water and it's sold in the health food sections. Oh, this says that it's purified, so that must be healthy. Oh, this is from a Norwegian well, that must be healthy. Folks, marketing has in many ways caused us to do things that I promise you, I know as much as I am standing here, is causing our body to age, to rust, to degenerate, whatever you want to call it, at a faster rate. And I know that we can make that change and make that difference by incorporating the technologies that are made available to us every single day, by doing nothing more than walking 5 steps, lifting a lever, or twisting a knob and having access to alkalized, ionized, electrolyzed water. Now I'm going to show you one more quick demonstration here. It's one of my favorites. Let me get rid of some of this here. And that is the third principle of the water, and that is that we can actually increase the hydration of the cells of the body. Now, how are we going to increase the hydration of the body? The only way to really do that is to provide a smaller or better way, if you will. Let's just use Dasani, we'll use Voss, and we'll use Smart Water. Just to use these. Let me set this down here. And what we're going to do is I'm actually going to not show you this demonstration because I did not bring my tea bag with me. So next time you're going to get to see the tea demonstration. That's the beauty of what we're doing here. I'm at risk because it is a live demonstration, but I committed to doing this live because there are people all over this world that say, gosh, I would love to see that demonstration. Folks, I do a demonstration in Seattle or Florida, and we have people fly there. We have some of the greatest leaders that fly around and do these demonstrations, and we have people that fly to see them. So I sat down with my staff and I said, guys, we're going to work as diligently as we can, and we're going to make a raw, live, streaming video, not video, live recording of this demonstration. And if I mess up, I mess up. I forgot the tea bag, but that's okay because we're going to be doing these every Tuesday night. It's going to be either a water demonstration. The first and third Tuesdays are strictly Kangen water demonstrations because that is the basis. That is the foundation. And folks, without a good foundation, it doesn't matter what exercises you do. It doesn't matter what you eat. It doesn't matter what supplements you take. It doesn't matter what teas you drink. If you don't have that solid foundation, the rest of it is going to crumble eventually. And I'm telling you that the foundation of good health is balancing that pH and boosting your body's potential to reduce oxidation. I just finished a book called Living Alkaline in an Acidic World. And one of the statements that I make in that book is that human homeostasis, and homeostasis just simply means balance, the perfect balance of the human body, okay, human homeostasis is almost solely dependent upon the balance of the body's pH. Folks, you cannot have perfect health without perfect pH. Now that doesn't mean that if you have perfect pH, you have perfect health. Okay? You can have perfect pH without perfect health, but you cannot have perfect health without perfect pH or balancing of that system or that alkaline acidity balance. So I hope that, even though we're going to talk about that next time, I hope that this has been of benefit to you. On the first and third Tuesdays of every month, we are doing strictly a Kangen water demonstration. And then on the second and fourth Tuesdays of every month, we're going to do water, talk about water as the basis. Nothing else matters until we make that change to a good electrolyzed water. Then we're going to start bringing in some of the other principles and concepts, such as a more alkalizing diet, what foods you should and shouldn't be eating, what exercises are good and how we recover, what supplements should be consumed, types of green drinks, things like that. Those are all things that are additions to the foundation of a good, balanced pH. Folks, whoever invited you to watch this live webinar, I invite you. In fact, I strongly suggest that you get back with them. Ask them to send you more information about the technology that has changed the lives of millions of people already and going to continue to change lives. Folks, this is my life, this is my love, and it's certainly my honor that you have invited me into your home this evening. I hope that I've done this demonstration a service. I hope that you have felt the importance of what I'm sharing with you. And I hope that you continue to follow our webinars and what we are doing, because I know that we can change lives, and it all starts with changing your water. In fact, if you change your water, you might just change your life.